This trail we're going to do at the moment is called the Twitchers Trail, as in bird watchers. There's 5 of these large mosaic panels of birds found in this area along the trail. Although this trail isn't all about bird watching, there is other things to see on the trail, as you'll see in this video further along. This is one of the old ruins, which there are many of in South Australia. We're at a place called Moody Tank. This is how they used to retain water for the railway lines back in the old days, for the steam engines and so forth, and retain water for themselves. And the water would fall on the hill here, run down to these concrete barriers and into the tank. And as you can see, there is water in this tank. It's pretty green. I wouldn't like to drink it though. We'll go down here and have a sticky. There was some sort of a fence up here, obviously. Stop cattle maybe from getting into it. Quite ingenious, the ideas I used to come up with in the old days. We're up at the top of the rock now at Moody Tank, and we'll give you a view of what's around the place. You can see the roof of the tank down there.
From Cummins to Kimber.
The railway line did?
Yeah, in 1913 to 69, so a long time.
From here we'll go across the road and see where it filled the old steam engines.
It held 300 and the capacity to hold a huge amount. It's 353,900 gallons.
Here's the water line running across the road. And your big tap and funnel to get the water into the engines is just here. There she is. There's actually a bee's nest inside the pipe. I'll get a picture with the other camera. Here's the pipe going up for filling the engines, and we'll see if we can get in on this here. We'll see the bees now. We'll walk on the railway line and have a look down the track. Yeah, it's not very wide, is it?
Yeah, I think they said 34 inches.
34-inch track. This is just a bit of footage of the gate valve. Yep. We're in the township well, it's not much of a township, but we're in Stokes at the moment, and this is one of the old churches, Minster Hill it's called, on the way back. Still on the Twitchers Trail, but heading back now.
This is a memorial to all the pioneer women that made settlement of this area possible at the turn of the century. That's early 19th. And it's just a list of their names, and it was unveiled on Mother's Day 1963.
Next day we took a drive across to Port Drummond from Tumby Bay, basically straight across the peninsula. We took a drive along the ocean road and ended up at a closed gate, so we had to turn around. This is where we put the drone up. It was pretty windy, and as you'll see in this clip, that the drone gimbal couldn't even keep up with it at times. After getting the drone back safely, we turned around and took the same road back out until we came across somewhere where we can get to the beach. We're just going to go for a bit of a walk up this track and see what we can see. We're supposed to be at Hall Bay. It's a little way the wind's blowing the sand out. It's not very high, it's only about 30 mil, the little ridge up from the sand. We've just turned around. This is what it looks like from where we've come from. You can see the car parked down there and the canola growing in the background. And the sand dunes over. This track is really quite hard. I could have driven the car up here no problems at all without even letting the tyres down. Oh, it's pretty good coastline out here.
Oh, that's spectacular.
We'll get a bit closer. It's a sheer drop down from where I'm standing, and you can see the coastline over here. I'll show you the colour of the sea down here. This road actually goes around further along the coast. I don't know how far it'll go, so it'd be worth bringing a car up.
We've driven to what's known as Hall Beach, just south of Mount Drummond and just north of Greenley Beach. Beautiful outlook here. You can't get down to the water, you've got to go a bit further around to get out to the water into that little cove. But it's Quite spectacular coastline. It's not warm today, but the sun's out and it looks good. This is just around the corner from the last video. It's obviously a road that's well used. There's lots of tinnies down on the side here, and there's buoys just out in the water. I don't know if you'll be able to see them. The tinnies are down just on the edge of the sand and the rocks, and there's 3 marker buoys. And I assume that over there's a channel to get out to the sea. Out on some of these groups of rocks there's lots of birds, but you won't be able to see those clearly. There's cormorants, and I don't know, I think the other ones are oyster catchers. Good view though, looks beautiful.
Trying to hold us still at the moment. Today we're going to take a trip into Coffin Bay National Park, but it's not much of a day. It's pretty squally and windy, and occasional periods of rain. We've come up that boardwalk and we're up at a lookout now. This is what it should look like on a clear day. I tell you what, it's not good weather. We won't be up here long. We've just pulled up in one of the camping areas in Coffin Bay National Park, and there's a couple of grey kangaroos here lying on the ground. Get a bit closer if I can. He doesn't want me to come near him, so I won't go and annoy him. Coming back down one of the little tracks on the side, as we got down towards the main road, there was a puddle on the side from the rain, and the emus had decided to come out and have a drink. So we watched them for, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes. And after watching them for probably 10 minutes. We got back into the car and they didn't like that, so they run off into the bush. We were heading down to Greenley Beach and there was a crop duster dusting the crops. So we stopped and watched him for about 10 minutes. It was fascinating to see him fly back and forwards and do his crop dusting. Almost some acrobatic turns and things like that. It's quite fascinating. Here we are at the Greenley Beach area, where you hear a lot of it on YouTube. It was a beautiful day, but windy again. The whole time we were away, we very rarely got to put up the drone because of the wind. Cape Barren goose buggers keep moving. As I moved around to get a picture of them, they kept moving behind the trees so they couldn't see me. Well, if you got this far, thanks for watching, and there's a few pictures of this part of the trip to follow.